Here are the answers. This was what?
Pretest
6A.
6A. Here we go. Best we can. Number 1 should be 1/6. 1 is 1/6. 2 is $4.80. 3 $1.59. $1.59. Number 4 is 4/1, 4 to 1. The ratio is 4 to 1. 5 is $2.56. $2.56. 6 is $480. $480. 7 is $80. $80. 8 is 30 feet. 30 feet. 9 is the letter D. 9 is D. 10 is 6 units squared. 6 units squared. 11, the decimal 0.4 and the fraction 2/5. 0.4 and 2/5. 12 is 0.8 repeater 3. 0.8 repeater 3. Number 13, 9.3 times 10 to the 7th. 9.3 times 10 to the 7th. 14 is the letter C. 14 is C. 15 is 9. 15 is 9. 16, T equals 10. T equals 10. 17 is 7/12. 7/12. 18 is 26. 18 is 26. 19 is 0. 0 and 20 is x squared. 20 is x squared. Oh, that did not work as well as what I hoped. Great sound.
What was the answer to 13?
13, 9.3 times 10 to the 7th, Ronnie Johnson.
What was the answer at 4?
4 was 4 to 1, or 4/1 is a fraction. Sam? 5, $2.56. Aiden? 10, 6 units squared. Charles?
What was the answer for number 2 and 3?
2 is $4.80, 3 $1.59. Afro? Leah? 18 was 26. Charles?
Can you do number 10?
Love to do number 10. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, remember you can bring a piece of paper that has notes on it, and this one as well. Tomorrow for the test. You cannot use your pretest as your notes. Just remember that. Which one? Who asked me which one?
Number 10.
Number 10. Let us look at number 10. Isn't that the way it goes? Always the bridesmaid, the bride. And again, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a humongous favor. If you want to use a grid system for this, I will do it over here since I think I probably can. So I've got my thing there. Vertices of this triangle are -1, -1. Here's -1, -1. 3 -1. 1, 2, 3 -1. And 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So my triangle is this. And it's probably good to get used to this. I gotta work around my little paint chippage. Here's my triangle, right? And it asks you for the area, right, Charles?
Yes.
So you wrote, since it's a triangle, you wrote the area of a triangle is
1/2 base times height.
1/2 base times height. And we know, ladies and gentlemen, that base and the height have to form right angles or be perpendicular to each other. And there are no perpendicular lines on this thing. You could say that is, but it's not. Okay, but the nice thing is when you have a grid system, you have a whole bunch of perpendicular lines. All of your lines of latitude and longitude or whatever, all your lines, X and Y lines, are perpendicular to each other. You just need to start at the top point of your triangle and come straight down. and you will make a right angle there. And that's what you use for your base and your height. This line and this line form your right angles. This line is 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. So I have my 1/2, my base is 4, and my height from here is 1, 2, 3 high. So your triangle is half of 4 times 3. Half of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So this would be 6 units squared. This will not be the first time or the last time you'll come across that. But again, you need to do it on a grid piece of paper and just see that they will be identical to that Olivia Goss.
Unit number 6.
Love to. Absolutely love to. A tile installer charges $12 per square foot to install the floor tile. What is the cost to install the room with the size shown? It's always good when you start a problem to read it and understand what it's asking you. Since this has multiple steps here, Aiden, do you have a question about what I'm just doing here? No, your hand's going to be up for a long time if you're waiting for me to finish this. All right. What you have to understand is this, boys and girls. It doesn't ask you just to find the area of this. It says, if it costs $12 a square foot, how much will it cost to carpet this or install a tile? So I would write down this before I can start. I need to find the area, and then I need to multiply that by $12 because that's how much it's going to cost me. Just so you don't forget in the end what the question is asking you, because you'll spend some time doing the area and then you'll write that down as your answer, but that's not what they're asking you. So Olivia, did you find the area of this? I'm just asking because I was going to ask you which way you cut. We don't have a formula for this particular shape, so we need to cut it into 2 shapes that we can find the area. And I was going to ask you if you did you cut it this way or did you cut it this way? Oh, yeah, because you can't. I mean, you could do it as a whole and subtract the piece that's missing, but I think Sam, did you cut it in shapes? Which way? Diagonally or horizontal or vertically? So you went like this? Okay, let's just do that because that's probably not so bad there. So if you do it vertically, you have 4 times 6. This rectangle right here is 24. Now here's the place where if you make a mistake, a lot of times people make it. You also need to find the area of this rectangle, which is 4 times whatever this is. And this is not 8. 8 is the entire line. You just want this little chunk from here to here. How do I know what that is? Charles?
You cut it in half.
No, it's not necessarily cut in half. You can't use that rule. In this case, it is half, but that's not, you don't just say automatically cut things in half. You know that this little piece from here to here is 4 because it's 4 up there. So 4 plus what number would give you 8, which is 4. In that case, it is half, but you can't just say, oh, I must cut it in half. So the area of this one is 16, side times side or length times width. So the total area that you can use for this is 24 plus that 16, which is 40. And you have to take that 40 times 12, which is going to be your $480. Did that help, Mrs. Lesh? For me, for the kids?
Yes, this is the order that never ends.
Same lady?
Yeah. You have 2 wonders.
And they were the decorated ones. I certainly can. The more decorated cemetery plots, the better, I always say.
And I said, oh, the only thing I can tell you what the total is because I don't have the form in front of me. She said, oh, they're this much piece. I can figure that out.
Yeah. I can't remember either, but we will get it. Other ones, ladies and gentlemen. Kendall Wills. 18 was 26. Ada. There's an outside chance. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were doing this problem here, there's a lot of different ways to think about it, but I'd probably just do this. X to the third, Aiden, means what? 3 x's times themselves? Yes? No? So x to the third is x times x times x. X to the fourth is x times x times x times times x. And x to the fifth is 5x's times themselves. And the deal is this, on fractions, if you have the same factors on top as you do on bottom, you can cross them out. One for one. So like this x, cross off with that x, that x, that x, that x, that x. And you're left with just two x's on top, which is x squared. Another way you can think about it is, remember when you multiply bases that have exponents together, same bases with exponents, this is x to the 7th on top, and this is x to the 5th on bottom. When you divide bases that have the same that have exponents, you subtract their exponents. 5 from 7 is x squared. This is probably the simpler way, if that other way confuses you, to get that there. Leah?
What was 19?
19 was 0. 13 was 9.7 times 10, 9.3 times 10 to 7. Charles?
Can you do number 1?
All the way back to number 1. The minute hand of a clock turns 6 degrees per minute, and I would also kind of sketch a little graph here. Here's my clock, Charles. This is 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's make this is 1. How many little things are between 12 and 1? There's 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every minute, if the hand goes from here to here, that is 6 degrees, correct? That's what it says. Every minute is 6 degrees. Well, the hand didn't move just 1 minute, it moved 10 minutes, so it actually went all the way to here. So how many degrees? If every minute is 6 degrees and it moved 10 of them, how many degrees is that? 6 degrees, 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 6 degrees. How many? 10 6 degrees is 10 times 6?
60.
Yeah. This thing moved 60 degrees for 10 minutes. But that wasn't the answer, because that's not the question it asked you. It didn't ask you how many total degrees it moved. It said what fraction of a full 360 did it move. So fraction, it moved, the total is 360. What part did it move? 60 out of the 360. And there's that just reducing. Divide by 10, you get 6 over 36. Divide those by 6, you get 1/6 as your fraction. That's the fraction of 1/6 of a circle. Leah? I like it how we skipped from the first problem to the last problem. Can I do 19? That was what I'm hoping we would do. Things to remember for problem number 19 is order of operations, and that's what I would probably write in my notes. Okay, in order of operations, the first thing you do are, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses. Are there any parentheses, Leah? The next thing you do are exponents and roots. Are there any exponents? Sure there are. And this is one thing to remember. 5 to the 0 power, it is not 5. And there's what I'd write in my notes. 0, I don't know why this is green. 0 power equals, and if you would have looked at your notes, I guarantee you we wrote this in big letters. 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. 5 to the 0 power is 1. 1 million to the 0 power is 1. So this becomes a 1. 1 plus 4 minus 3 times 2 plus 1. So there's my exponents. Then I do multiplication and division from left to right. First, I only have one multiplication, which is this. So it's 1 plus 4 minus 6 plus 1. That's my multiplication. My division, then I have addition and subtraction from left to right. Here we go. Be careful. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 minus 6 plus 1. Still got to work from left to right. 5 minus 6 is actually a negative 1. And a negative 1 plus 1 is a big fat 0.
17.
Number 17 was 712 for the side. Brendan, what?
Is there number 18 on the board?
I am. I'm relatively sure. Did you, Kate, and if I were doing notes, I would write myself this down. You have to do the top first. And then once you get that, you're just going to divide by the bottom. Kate, did you do that?
Yeah.
What is 1.2 plus 0.36?
1.56.
And you got that right? So now I have 1.56, and that's over 0.06. And I think at some points we still struggle with division of decimals. Remember, this one goes on the outside. 0.06 into 1.56. Dividing by decimals, we do the over thing. You have to move this over 2, so this goes over 2. Decimal goes straight up from there. How many times does 6 go into 15? Twice, which is 12. How many times does 6 go into 36? 6 times. Nothing left there, it's just 26. Where'd you go wrong, Kate?
I put 0.6 instead of 0.6.
Note to self, make sure you use the right numbers. I can guarantee you, 7th graders, if you don't use the right numbers, you'll get it wrong every time. I shouldn't say that. There's an outside chance that you make a double mistake, but it's pretty infrequent. Is it, Lacey? Yes. Charles!
Can you please do number 17?
Look at, I'm working my way back. Same thing on this one. If I had to guess, if you made a mistake on this one, guess what I would guess? You did not follow order of operations. For some reason, people think fractions do things differently. No. You have to multiply first. This has to be done first. And the nice thing about that is it's pretty easy multiplication. What is 1/3 times 1/4, Charles?
12.
I'm sorry?
12.
1/12, is it not? 1 times 1 is 1, 4, 12. And you're adding that to 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/12. Common denominator, Charles, is 12. 12 times 1, 1 times 1. 2 times 6 is 12. 1 times 6 is 6. What do I get if I take 6 12ths and add 1 12th to it?
7 12.
7 12ths. Where did you go wrong, Charles? Charles? Did you multiply first?
No,
That's it. And there again, on my notes for tomorrow, I would say, make sure you multiply first. Do not make the same dreaded mistake twice. Tomorrow it counts. Today, not as much. Brenda Massey?
What was the answer to number 6?
6 was $480. Wasn't that the one we did on the board? Leah? 16? It's like a trifecta. Solving by inspection. The beauty of this, ladies and gentlemen, is really there is no work to be shown. You should be able to solve this by looking at it. Okay? And here's the deal. Cover up the thing that has the letter first, like this. And you're asking yourself, what number, when you divide it by 3, gives you 4? What would have to be on the top so that when you divide it by 3, you get 4? That one I'm hoping you know. What number divided by 3 is 4? Yeah? Take a guess. Pick a number. How about that? Let's see. Just give me any number. 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it can't be 6. What if I did 9? 9 divided by 3 is not 4. And if you think about an easy division problem, let's say 8 divided by 2 is 4. If you don't know the top, what do you do with these two? You multiply them. So you know this top has to be 12, right? That's not my answer because I still have to do some more work. Then you cover up this and you say, well, what number added to 2 would give you the 12 that you need? What number, when you add 2 to it, gives you 12? 10. Eventually, we won't be doing these by inspection because they get a little goofy, but right now, love it. What flavor have we not done? Let's do orange. Orange. Kevin Wilson.
The only notes that we're taking right now.
Correct. And the little decimal sheet, the common decimal sheet there. Is there something else you'd like to use? Can't use the pretest, but, oh, the triples are up there, yep. And I think I gave you a triple sheet if you really wanted to use it. But they're up there. You should be able to, unless you can't see that far. Charles?
Can you do number 12?
I would love to use 12. If I were doing number 12, Charles, you know what I would do?
Use the sheet.
Yeah, do you have it? Because I don't know where the difficulty in this one would be. Because I'm pretty sure it has 5 6s, 1 and depends, does it not? Is it me or is it me? Do you see the fraction 5 6, Charlie?
Yes.
And what's the decimal at the very end of it?
0.833.
Now again, I told you the sheet does this. Rather than putting the little decimal, the repeater thing, look at that. It just gives you that ellipsis, whatever it is. But whatever repeats gets the fraction line, so it's 0.8. Where you put the repeater line over that, and that's your answer. In fact, if I were you, I might cross off all of that. Just put lines over everything on that sheet, just as your reminder. It's just easier. Okay.
Do you remember 8 on the board?
I would love to wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's on the other side. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and this one is, again, note to self, Pythagorean triple. Perimeter is just the distance around. We know the 5. We know the 12. We do need to figure this out. And it's a right triangle, so the first thing I think is Pythagorean theorem, and then I hope this is a triple. Is it a triple? Is there a 5, 12?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the other side has to be,
Repeat.
so that should really, 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 10. I believe you get 30 feet. Not a lot of work involved in that one. Liv?
Are these ones in the middle right here repeaters too? Because I don't have.
No, those are percents. So when you write a fraction as a percent.
Those repeaters. They don't
No,
have the-
no. Only the ones that are, the only repeaters are the ones that have the little dots. I thought you were pointing to the middle ones. They are the middle ones, except not the middle of the column, the middle of the rows. Charles,
Number 4.
are we doing that one? Well, Charlie, what does this say? What are we looking for? The
Ratio.
ratio. Now notice this isn't one where you have to use a ratio box because it's not telling you the ratio and asking you to find out how many cars or how many trucks there are. This is just asking you for a ratio. And the ratios are cars, which is the first one given, over trucks, which is the second one given. Does it tell you how many cars and how many trucks? 96 cars over 24 trucks. There is your ratio. It just needs to be reduced. And remember, we leave it as improper as long as it's reduced. However you want to reduce it is fine with me. If you don't know that 24 goes into 96, I don't know, you could cut them both in half, I guess, first. Half of 24 is 12. Half of 96, you may have to do it in the division problem, but it is 48. And maybe you could divide them both by 6. Half of 48 is 8. This is 2, and divide them both in half again. You get 4 over 1. This is your fraction that we're looking for. Or you could write 4. Ephraim.
Is there no problem? I would just divide 3 and then 33 days.
Well, I'm pretty sure 96 divided by 3 is 32.
Yeah, I got 32 over that's 33 for some reason.
And then 32 over 8 would still go down to 4 over 1. Note to self, Ephraim, make sure you check over that one. No other ones in there? These people are the smartest 7th grade class that I've seen just this morning. Nobody has issues with a postage stamp or 20% tip. Everybody got that? Tip, tax and tip is all in multiplication. I think we did more on the second page. Nobody needs help on scientific notation. Nobody needs the missing exponent. Nobody needs help on reflections, translations, rotation.
Are we allowed to use our reflection and translation sheet for the test?
Wait, I think you can probably remember that. You can write that down in your notes for 14 if you want, but it's not that. You think you struggle with translations, rotations, reflections? Coin Morgan.
Can you do that in small?
El número 5 de mayo. And here's the key word there, Chloe. 3.2 of apples at 80 cents per pound. What type of problem is it? Yeah, so you're just taking 3.2 times 80 cents. Now here's what you have to remember. If you multiply by 80, your answer will still be in cents, which is fine. You need to change it to dollars. You break down the 0. 8 times 2 is 16. Here's the 124 plus 1 is 25. This is how many cents. And we don't ever say, please pay me 2,560 cents. You need to change it, put the decimal there, and make it $25.60. Just the multiplication. Lip?
For number 13, the scientific notation, how do you know where to put the decimal?
That is a fantastic problem. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody help us out on this, and I know I was not here. You should probably, actually everybody do that. Take out a blank piece of paper and write scientific notation on top of it. If you don't, because I know this was when I was gone, for whatever reason. This will be short, since we got a little time. And I know. In your scientific notation notes, write down these simple steps. Step number 1, and this is what Olivia asked, where do you put the decimal? You need to move the decimal all the way to the left. So that there is only one non-zero digit. To the left of it. Or you make the number so that it's between 1 and 10. And that simply means this. I take this decimal and I slide it from here all the way to the left until you have only one, which is this 9, digit that's not a 0 to the left of it. So now my number becomes 9.3. Step number 2 is you write down times 10. Which is a pretty simple little step. Uh-oh, what did I do here? And then step 3 is the exponent is how many places you move the decimal. How many places you moved the decimal. Uh-oh. Which means I have to go back here and just count. I moved it 1 place, 2 place, 3 place, 4 places, 5 places, 6 places. I moved the decimal 7 places. That's my exponent of 10. And then to go the other way, you do just the opposite. You're going from scientific notation to standard form, whatever the exponent is here, you move the decimal to the right of that anyway. So Samuel?
So number 5.
Back to number 5. We're going back. Yep.
$2.86.
Yeah, because 80 that's non forbidden, so you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why didn't you start with that before? My answer should have had a decimal here, because of this decimal here. And then instead of me saying 256 cents, it should have been $2.56, yes. I stand corrected, I can do no other. Fortunately, that's only the first of the 3 mistakes I found myself in a given day. But I still have a lot of time left. It might have been better for us to do this then. Maybe it'd be better for you to take, or me, 80 cents is what decimal? 0.8. And then we could have just counted decimal places, I don't know. You still get 2, 5, 6 over, and you move the decimal 2 places. Thank you for your kindness and not jumping down my throat on that, Charlie. Did you know that? Questions? More people. Don't make me come back once I push stop. No return. That was 31 minutes and 49